It's actually my Joel. My name is Yehoel ben Michael. I have born in Geula in Mea Shearim and grew up in Mea Shearim until I was 7 years old. And then I will become less religious. And the main reason, because I want to go to the army, and it was very complicated for everyone to understand in the community that is you as a religious guy go to the army to fight. I went to the army and I want to go for one of the top group, which is like a parachuter or a sayeret, and because that's my background, they can't accept me. They only tell me that if I like to go, I can go to be what do you call it, a front medic, which is the guy that is running with the soldiers in the front line to fight, and he's be the medic.
They scared you, didn't they?
At the time, yes, I went there and I finished it, and then I've been located in Be'er Sheva in a group of all medics on roster. So it's been every time that is any group, any sayeret, you have to go to Gaza or whatever, so that it was my duty. I finished the army after I have picked up a name of a medic who ran between the bullets and become very famous. That was the question for me at that time, if I'm not afraid from the bullets. And my answer say, I'm afraid only for one, from the Creator, from Ribono Shel Olam. In 1973, I've been with my father in a shul, and it was Yom Kippur, and it was approximately at 9:31 or 19:32 in the morning. The rabbi asked us to keep quiet. Two soldiers stand up on the bima and start to call the names. The names are the code names, and then, wow, I can start to cry. My name come in, and my code name come in. I kiss my father. I say goodbye. My father told me, go. I went to my mother. My mother told me, come as a winner, don't be loser. I don't want you to be loser. And we went to the war. It was a big mess. Everything. So the Egyptian and the Syrian has entered into Israel in a very fast situation. I have just reached my group. As I reached my group, they asked me to, from Be'er Sheva, that I have to take the truck and go to Refidim, which is in the middle of the desert of Sinai. I reach Refidim, and we have just to understand that is we have a lot of injured. The Egyptian actually moving in very fast. The Kav Bar Lev, which we have a lot of trust on this Kav Bar Lev, hasn't been the power or the ability to stop the Egyptian. The Egyptian move in and in. On the 14 days of the war, I think it was the 14 days, Ariel Sharon has reached Refidim, and he will give the speech, the very famous speech. And at the end of the speech, he say, please, the only thing we have to do, we have to trust the Creator. It was very unique to understand from someone like Ariel Sharon that always used to say, trust by his war, by his power, which is reminded the Bar Kochva or Bar Koziva. He is the first time say, please, everyone have to pray to Ribono Shel Olam, to trust Ribono Shel Olam, and so on. And then everyone have started to go. We went into, I've been called to be, because of my name, I think so, to be with a special sayeret, and we start to move into the Talat Suez, the Canal of Suez. And the Canal Suez we cross over before even the army have ever the ability. We have to cross to see how strong is the Egyptian power. I mean the Egyptian army, what they have, and to give the proper information to them. We have been a group of 7 people. We run, we slowly we move in, and then we got the news that is the army has surrounded around the Chava Senate, which is the Chava Senate is actually is got a very unique name, which is the village, the Chinese village. We know there's a big war there. All our semi-tanks, which we used to call Zelda, has been shot very badly and destroyed by the Egyptian army. I went together with a group of the other 6 people, and we went together. We've been already around the 55 or 56 kilometer inside from Suez inside, and then we've been attacked by the Egyptian army. I got the guy that was the Magad, or the person who in charge on the group, and he's got a shot and he's been hit by the bullet. He was on the floor, and he came to me. I mean, I ran to him. They called the medic Chovesh, and I reached him. He was on the floor. I got through his dagmach, the special uniform the army have. I saw the hole of the bullet, and the bullet was just over his heart. And I haven't seen blood at that moment, or I can't remember if I seen blood or not, but wasn't any blood at that time. And I started to look at it. He just prayed to me to tell his mother that he actually died like a soldier to protect Israel. Nissan, the guy told me his name, and he showed me. He said, "Please, I have a letter to my parents." The letter to his parents. I took it. I haven't opened it. I haven't read it. And then, under the letter, I saw the bullet, and the bullet actually stopped just before penetrating to his body. In between the bullet and between his body was $1, a folding dollar for four times to the quarters of the dollars, the quarter size of the dollars, and the bullet just stopped there. The dollar have like a bend, like the marks that is the stop the bullet for some reason. I can't understand what is actually happened. I look at him and I say, "Nissan, just wake up. Nothing happened to you. You've just been hit very strongly by the bullet." He looked at himself, he touched himself, and he sees nothing actually. He come back to himself, and I show him the dollar that's actually is where the bullet stopped. And he look at me and he say, "You know what it is?" I say, "No, I have no idea what it is. I know it's $1, American dollar." He say, "This American dollar I have received from my father." And I say, "Well, good. Well, your father be in America to get." And I say, No. My father is a plumber." And I say, "Okay, that is nice. So what is the dollar and to be a plumber?" He said, "No, he got it from someone as a rabbi. I think is the name Sudekevich. The Rabbi Sudekevich, he received it from him." And I say, "What is this? What do you mean by that?" He said, "Oh, my father is a plumber. He's been called one day, or was on Friday before Shabbat, to fix some problem in the Rabbi Sudekevich in Kfar Chabad, and he actually did a job, and the rabbi paid him. At the end, he said him, 'Look, I want to bless you, to give you something with blessing,' and he gave him the $1. And then he told that's the story. Later on, after the war, I went to check what is the story with the $1, because it was my interesting. I understood that at that time, the Rabbi Schneerson, or Rabbi Milubavitch, at that time they call, used to give dollars to the very close rabbis or close people to him. It wasn't actually the real time what is happening at that time, Later on, I just went in 1982, which was 8 years later on. I went to the state and I got my own dollar with the Rebbe. Okay, I can't. I remember the story. I just cry. I'm sorry. I can't. It is although it's so many years after, it's hard to my heart, and it's still, it is. Sorry. Wow, idea.